Hello my YouTube friends! Every time you go live on one platform, you're actively choosing to ignore every single person who follows you from somewhere else. Twitch, X, Facebook, wherever. And you don't have to pick one. There is a completely free way to broadcast to YouTube, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, and anywhere else simultaneously inside OBS. Without Restream, without a paid subscription, without anything extra. And that's what this video is going to show you. So you know what? Let's get to it! Now the go-to solution that most people land on when they want to multi-stream is Restream. And it works. But there is a cost attached if you're going to use it. And more importantly even, routing your system through a third-party server adds a variable that you just can't control. Your stream quality is now dependent on their infrastructure, not just yours. What I'm going to show you today keeps everything local on your own machine. Your stream goes directly from OBS to each platform's Ingest server. There's no middlemen, there's no monthly fees, and there are two methods, so you actually have a choice. One is lightweight and really simple. The other gives you more control, including dedicated vertical output for TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever goes vertical. Now I'm going to walk you through both so you can decide which one fits your setup, and there are links down below in the description. But before we get to it, one thing you need to understand. Multi-streaming does increase the demand on your upload bandwidth. Each destination gets its own stream. So if your connection is running close to its limits with a single stream, you want to test this before going live to an audience. And I'm going to cover what to look for later in the video. But if you already know your bandwidth is light because your upload cap is small, Restream is still your best option, and there are links to that in the description below as well. Now I'm going to walk you through both, starting with multiple RTMP outputs because that's probably where most people should start. Alright, so this is the page for multiple RTMP, and you can see it's a little longer than that. This was originally in Japanese, so some of this is gonna, maybe make you nervous. It's gonna be fine. We're gonna go to the download, which you can see is mostly in Japanese. But we want the newest one, so that's right here. And we just have to scroll down to the bottom of this release right here and see right here, Assets 7. We're just going to expand this little arrow here. And we can see our installations. So we've got Mac and Windows. And then there's a Windows Zip, Linux. So this is for everybody. We're going to go ahead and use the Windows installer. So I'm just going to click on that. I'm just going to download it up here. We're going to go into our downloads folder and double click, and you're going to get some script, install or remove, and we can do yes or no to remove. I don't like the fact that I don't get a lot of options here. So you can click yes if you have it installed in a standard location, but I do not. So this is not going to work for me. So I'm going to go ahead and click no. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the zip file. We're going to go into the zip file. We're going to go ahead and extract this. So we're going to go to extract all and extract the zip file. And we've got our data and our OBS plugins. So we can just copy these folders, right click and copy them, and then go to the location for our OBS install, which is going to be OBS-Studio. And you're going to see you've got the data and the OBS plugins right in here. So you could just right click anywhere and go paste, and boom, it's going to copy those in there. So now we could just open up our OBS. Then if we go to docs, we could see our multiple output right here. We can just bring this in and place it wherever we want. You can get your YouTube stream key just by going into create and going to go live. It's going to take you into the studio. Just expand your little studio thing. And we've got stream right here. Right down here you can see here's your RTMP, and you've got a backup RTMP. Now you can see up here it has the stream key listed, and you can create a new one or do whatever you want, but we can just copy the stream key right here, and it's for this RTMP. So what we'd want to do is copy our RTMP and then copy our stream key to get that set up. Now for me, if we go in here, I already have YouTube set up, so we don't need to recreate that. But if we were going to go add a new target, and we might want to add Twitch, And Twitch works a little differently. If you add Twitch down in your regular settings, it has all of the RTMP URL stuff. But if you go into Twitch, it doesn't really give you any of that at all. So in order to get the RTMP stuff, you've got to kind of go into your recommended ingest endpoints and just find the one you want. So we've got Virginia and Ohio. I'm on the East Coast, so I'm going to just use this. And I'm going to just copy that out and go back in here, and we're going to add that as our URL. And then for our stream key, we're going to go into our Twitch. We can get our primary stream key right here. Just copy it and then go into here and paste our stream key. And boom. So now we're set up to stream to Twitch, and we want to just share all the same functions and features right here. We don't need to use authentication, and we don't need to mess around with the output or anything like that. We're just going to click OK. And now we've got, as you can see right down here, we've got Twitch that we can start. Now, if we wanted to add other targets, we could go add another target. We could add Rumble. We could add Kick, whatever we want. We could put in the URL and the stream key and add those right in here. Just keep in mind, they all stack up. They add on top of one another. Now, the one thing that you may want to change right here is we can go here and we can sync the start with OBS. What that means is if I click start streaming, it's going to start streaming our Twitch as well. So I think that's good. And then we can sync the stop as well. So if we were to click start streaming or stop streaming, that just means that it's going to start our YouTube, which we have set up right here, and then it's also going to start our Twitch. And we can add as many of these as we want. Now, one thing that's worth noting here, the multiple RTMP output plugin adds destinations on top of your main OBS stream output. So your primary destination, whatever you normally stream to, stays configured in OBS's normal manual settings as usual. The plugin adds everything else on top of that. So you want to keep that in mind when you're setting this up. You're not replacing your main output. If you were to add the same output on top of that, well, it's going to try to stream there twice. You don't want to do that. Method 2 is where TikTok or YouTube Shorts get into the picture and where the setup gets a little bit more involved. So Aitum is the name of the company. We're going to be using their software. It's Aitum, Aitum, who knows, something like that. And you can see there is a paid segment. This is some kind of a multi-streaming suite of products that we're not interested in. We're just going to go to Multistream, which is totally free. We're going to go ahead and download it. Go into our downloads, and we can just double click on there, and we get an administrative prompt that you can't see, but we'll just click yes. And we have licensing agreement. We'll click next, and now we want to select where it is that we want our install to go. If you're using OBS in a standard location, then you'll probably have it set up right here. If you are not, well, you have to just browse to find the location that you want it to use, and when you find it, then just click next. Yours is probably going to be in C program files, OBS-Studio, by the way. And we're just going to add Aitum Multistream and click next and install and finish. And now we should be able to open OBS and see it. And if we installed it right, we could just go to our docs and we'll see Aitum Multistream in here. We could just select it and we can grab it and drag it wherever we want and drop it, and there we go. Now we're ready to set it up. Now you can see that it already shows my built-in stream right here, so we don't have to do anything with that. To add more, we can just click this multi-stream, and we can see our canvases. Right now we only have a main canvas, so we don't have to worry about that. And we go to general, and we have our main output, and we're going to add outputs, and we're going to add a Twitch output. So all we have to do is name it Twitch. Here we don't need to worry about the server because it has them all built in, so it can select them or we can select them, whatever we want. And we just need to grab our Twitch stream key the same way that we did before. So I'd be right here, and then we just go back in and we paste our Twitch stream key. Then we click create output, and now we have a Twitch output. We can click OK. And you can see that now we have the built-in stream, which goes to YouTube, and the Twitch output. Now, maybe your built-in stream is Twitch, and that's fine. So you just go here, and instead of selecting Twitch you just select YouTube or TikTok or Facebook or whatever you want. It's really that simple to add these in there. Now TikTok and YouTube Shorts and some other places require a vertical 9:16 output, which means your normal horizontal scene isn't gonna work. The Aitum vertical plugin solves this particular thing specifically. It creates a separate vertical output for your existing OBS scene, so you're not rebuilding your layout from scratch. Now for that, it's more of the same. We go into products and we're just gonna go to vertical, and we're just gonna go ahead and download that. And we just go into our downloads and we're looking for the vertical canvas Windows installer. Double click it. Administrative prompt that you can't see, but once again, we're just gonna click yes. Then we're gonna go ahead and click next. And we just have to select the location for it. Yours is probably going to be C Program Files OBS-Studio. Once you find the correct directory for your install, just click OK. And then we're just going to go ahead and click next. And then we're just going to click next again to install the vertical canvas, and then install and finish. And now we should be able to open up our OBS. And when we do open our OBS, we're going to notice a bunch of differences. We have our multi-stream here, but we now have a vertical canvas right here. We also have vertical scenes and vertical sources right here. Now you're going to have to organize these in a way that makes sense for you. But these essentially allow you to build the same stuff that you have here for your vertical canvas. So you just add in your vertical scenes and your vertical sources. And then you have the vertical canvas for your multi-stream. And all you have to do is click the plus there, go to vertical options, and in this case you can add an output. And you can add your TikTok or Twitter or your YouTube Shorts or other services the same way that we did before. So if you wanted to add TikTok, you gotta put in your TikTok server and your TikTok stream key, and then you can just add it. You can also add your YouTube Shorts server. Really super simple to add the stream key and your primary YouTube ingest server, and boom, we're gonna be all set with either one of those. And then once you go ahead and start streaming, you're going to be able to go ahead and start your vertical canvas or your horizontal canvas just by clicking on these little stream buttons right here. So we've got our vertical scene right here. We can rename it and call it camera, which it really isn't a camera at this point. You can see I have a cam in there, but we have this media source in here. And if I just click the plus and I go to media source, you can see that it's there, and I can just select it and it's going to bring it up. And if I want, I can set it up any way that I like. We can center it, we can do it however we decide we want to do it. So we can run it like that, and then we can go and add our camera, which I believe right now is probably disabled, but we can add it. Boom. And so our camera would be up here because right now it's currently disabled, but inevitably when the camera's on, it will place the camera up here, it will place this right here, and now we have our first vertical camera scene. We can replicate every one of these scenes over here in this scene area, and then we can right click and we can link the scenes. So we know that this scene is the same as the camera scene. So we can link it like that. And that means when we flip scenes back and forth over here, it will flip those scenes over here so that both your vertical and horizontal will stay together, synced up. And that's pretty much how these work. It's really pretty easy. You're gonna have to take your time to rebuild your vertical scenes to match your horizontal scenes, but once you do, you can just add your vertical canvas over here by clicking the plus, go into vertical canvas, go into add an output, and adding whatever output you want to go vertical on, and you're all set. So let's get back to the bandwidth question I flagged at the start. Multi-streaming multiplies your upload load. If you're streaming to YouTube at 6,000 kilobits per second and adding Twitch and TikTok, you're looking at 15,000 to 18,000 kilobits per second total, depending upon your settings. Now that requires a solid upload, ideally 25 megabits per second or better with headroom to spare. You can find out what your bandwidth is just by clicking the plus and just typing in internet tester or internet speed test or whatever, and it'll come up with something you can run a speed test on. It's pretty simple. This tests what your download speed is and what your upload speed is. And there you go. So now you know what your upload speed is. Now, it could fluctuate from time to time based on what hours or moments you have during the day, what else is going on your network or anything like that. It could fluctuate. But this is going to tell you, okay, I don't have enough to go to 5, but I can probably do 3. Something like that. If you find it's close but tight, you can adjust your bandwidth down a bit. It's not the end of the world. But if you adjust it too far, be aware that your bandwidth is what adds the clarity and sharpness to your live streaming images. Setting it too low is going to make it look bad. Just not good. So we have 2 methods. Both are free. Both are running natively inside OBS. Multiple RTMP output is the fastest path. Install it, drop your stream keys in there, and go live. Aitum Stream Suite is the path that you want if you're looking to do TikTok or YouTube Shorts or any kind of vertical format. Either way, your audience on every platform gets the live broadcast every time you go live. You're not going to have to choose anymore. Is there a multi-streaming option that I missed? Let me know about it down in the comments. And if you want a deeper look at optimizing your OBS settings for your stream quality, bitrate, encoder, and the whole setup and all that stuff, well, check this video out. And if you're always looking for tools, tips, and tricks to help make you a better live streamer or YouTuber, subscribe to the channel. My name is Michael Fire Jr. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.